Hey folks, Andrew here, and I'm here with Rich, and we're going to be talking about Tomb Raider. How are you today?
I'm excellent, Andrew. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So, where does the game start off? We did Tomb Raider, now we're in Rise of the Tomb Raider. What's going on? What's Lara doing?
What's exciting about Rise of the Tomb Raider is that this is telling the next chapter in Lara's journey, but it is her going on her first tomb raiding expedition. And so we are taking her on this journey to become a Tomb Raider. So she is putting herself in harm's way in order to do what she thinks is right. And we start the game off with Lara in Siberia. We have a flashback to Syria, but then we spend most of the time in Siberia, where she is looking for the lost city of Kitesh.
Awesome. Now, what did you guys learn from the first part of the reboot of Tomb Raider that you're implementing into this one?
Well, I think whenever we look at doing a sequel, so with Rise of the Tomb Raider, we looked at it in three parts. First is, what did we do right? What did we do well? So we try and keep that. And then what can we improve? And then what do we do that's new, that's going to delight and surprise the players? And so I think what we did well and what we kept is the idea of delivering a cinematic action adventure. Survival action is what we're trying to bring out, with Lara going into these hostile environments and using her skills and her wits to survive. What we wanted to improve was on the combat. We brought in guerrilla combat tactics, where now Lara has the ability to climb up in a tree or swim underwater in order to do a takedown or to avoid combat. She can craft ammos like a poison arrow on the fly. She can also heal herself more quickly on the fly, and finally even craft explosives using things she finds in the field. And then what we wanted to just delight and surprise the player with was tombs. Our fans said, we want more tombs, we want more challenge, so we are absolutely taking you to the tombs. There are more main tombs, there are more side tombs, and they are all filled with very, very challenging puzzles.
I have to say, there are a lot of challenging puzzles in the tomb. I was doing the demo up there, and a lot of the jumping puzzles, there are a lot of jumps that you don't think that you're actually going to make. How was it crafting a difficult puzzle for each of these tombs, like difficult for you guys?
So you have to make those leaps of faith sometimes, right? And I think that the thing that's exciting about that is we want you to think, I can't make that. Can I make that? And then you do, and you're like, you get this sense of elation. Same way of solving a puzzle. And so what we have to do is find the balance. There are main tombs that you have to make your way through over the course of the adventure. And we try not to do anything that's going to really roadblock a player. But then when you go into the hubs, which are these huge exploration spaces, they're 3 times larger than anything we delivered in Tomb Raider before, then we can populate them with these challenge tombs that are completely optional. So you find them and you feel like, okay, I'm maybe going someplace that not many other people have found, but they're filled with the really challenging puzzles. And those are the ones where, because you don't have to complete it in order to progress the story, we don't mind really making you tickle your brain a little bit on those.
Awesome. Now, with Tomb Raider, you guys did it for the last generation 360, and then you guys did a definitive edition for the next gen or current gen of consoles. But this is your first official game in the current gen. How has that helped you guys craft the Tomb Raider experience?
Correct. So Rise of the Tomb Raider is the first one that was built from the ground up on Xbox One, and we took what we learned with definitive edition and applied that. But really for us, the great thing was about figuring out, how do we push the hardware? When I mentioned the hubs, that was a way that we could deliver these huge exploration spaces, 3 times larger than we ever could before because of the power of the hardware, and then fill them with things to do, fill them with side missions, fill them with optional tombs. And another thing that we really wanted to do was deliver on Lara's fidelity. Lara is meant to be a human and relatable character. She's an ordinary person doing extraordinary things. And so we put a lot of detail into things that will make her feel more human, more alive. So the animations, when she wrings her hair out, getting out of a pool of water, when her clothes will get wet and then eventually dry off, the scratches that she'll get on her, get muddy, get bloody, even the scars that you can see from the previous adventure. Those are really the 2 areas that I think we most delivered on pushing the hardware. It's just the size of the world we can deliver and the fidelity of that world, and in particular Lara.
Awesome. And finally, with Tomb Raider, it's one of the oldest game franchises out there. How was it bringing her back into the current gen and just the current minds of gamers?
What we want to do is make sure that we're being respectful of the things that fans love about the series. So, for example, bringing swimming back was something that fans had requested. In the first Tomb Raider, you couldn't swim, in Tomb Raider 2013, I mean. And fans said, please, let her swim, let her swim. So now in Rise of the Tomb Raider, Lara can swim. So there's little moments like that where we want to sort of pay homage to what the fans are looking for. But also making sure that, for example, when you go into a tomb, that you're getting that same sense of wonder that you've always had out of the Tomb Raider franchise, of feeling like you're exploring this deadly ancient place that people haven't been in for hundreds, if not thousands of years, making them filled with traps. So you think, yeah, there is danger around every turn, making you feel like you are a brilliant archaeologist solving these puzzles and investigating murals. And so we look at that as a way to really kind of bring that spirit into the current generation of the games, but also do it in new ways, you know, adding the translation system so Lara is actually learning new languages to be able to unlock new puzzles, making what we call nested puzzles, where it's a huge environmental space and you know I've got the grand destination up here, but I've got to solve these little physics puzzles and these traversal challenges in order to get there. So that's how we modernize those things that fans love about the franchise and make it our own.
Excellent. And when can finally fans get their hands on the game?
Rise of the Tomb Raider is available on November 10th on Xbox 360 and Xbox One.
Excellent. Rich, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Andrew.
For more content like this, go to shacknews.com.